welcome to Chapter 2, Section 2.1, which we talk about solving linear equations. So the goal of this is to solve linear equations, classify them, and then finally solve equations with fractions or decimal coefficients. So what is the solution of an equation? Basically, solution of an equation, it's basically the number that fulfills that equation. Okay, now there might be more than one or not one. So how do you know if a number is a solution to the equation? Well, that's easy enough. We just plug it in and we simplify and we see if it's true or false. If it's true, it's a solution. If it's not true, the number is not a solution. So let's say here, for instance, we have y equals 3/5, and we want to see if this is true. So we can just plug in 3/5 every time we see a y. And we see if it is 3/5, these two sides of the equation should equal each other. So this is 1, so 3 plus 3 is 6. Here, you get 5 goes into 10 twice. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 4. So does 6 equal 2? No. So the first one is not a solution. What about the second one, 7/5? Okay, so I'll just do that up here. We have 5 times 7/5 plus 3 equals 10 times 7/5 minus 4. So here the 5's cancel. 7 plus 3 is 10. Here, 5 goes into 10 twice. 2 times 7 is 14 minus 4. So you get 10 is equal to 10. So yes, it is a solution. Okay. All right. But sometimes you're not given possible solutions. You're just given the equation and you need to find the solution. Okay. So what we do is you simplify each side of the equation as much as possible. You can use distribution property or whatever, combining like terms. And then we get the form, we want it to be variable equals some number, right? So if you have a variable on two sides, you use, or a constant, use addition or subtraction property of equality. Well, what is that? So if you have an equality equation, this could be variables, numbers, or it could just be a statement. If you subtract or add, I'll just put plus and say that, something to both sides of the equality stays the same. It still holds true, okay? The same goes for multiplication or division. So if you have, some product here, we divide both sides, both sides of the equation, then the equality will hold true. And the same goes for multiplication, okay? So let's say here we have 7 times the quantity n minus 3 minus 8 equal to 15 negative. So let's distribute this 7n minus 21 minus 8 equals negative 15. Combine like terms. 7n minus 29 is equal to negative 15. So we want to get rid of this 29. We want to have n by itself. So what I'll do is I'll do the opposite, right? Or I will do the inverse operation to both sides. So the equality still holds true. But see, now I've canceled this out. So I get 7n is equal to, this is 14. In order to get rid of the 7 and n together means multiplication. So I need to do the inverse, which is division. So divide both sides by 7, you get n is equal to 2. Okay, let's do a few more. Okay, so let's go ahead and distribute this 2/3. And we get 2/3 times 3m. I'm just going to write it out just so that you guys can see. Minus 2/3 times 6 equals 5 minus m. 3 cancels out 3. Remember, that's 3m over 1, so that's 2m. Here, 3 goes into 6 twice, so that's minus 4 is equal to 5 minus m. Now, we wanted to get to where m equals something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add m to both sides here. So I get 3m minus 4 is equal to 5. So now I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Okay, so then you get 3m is equal to 9. Finally, divide by 3, and m is equal to 3. All right, let's do another one. Okay, so first distribution and combining like terms on both sides. 4x minus 4 minus 2 is equal to 10x plus 15 is plus 6. Combining like terms, we get 4x minus 6 is equal to 10x plus 21. Okay, so I guess I can move the variable terms over. Okay, so this cancels on the right-hand side. 4x minus 10x is negative 6x. Minus 6 is equal to 21. So then add 6 to both sides. Negative 6x is equal to 27. Divide by negative 6. And we get x is equal to, these are both divisible by 3. So divide by 3, divide by 3. You get negative 9 halves when you simplify that. Okay, let's do one more. This one looks a little complicated, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and work inside out. So we need to focus on this first, and then we can go ahead and distribute. So this is 3 minus, right? 8 times 2 is 16s. Negative 8 times negative 5 is positive 40, right? Close bracket equals, and then we can distribute this. 15 times 40 is 600, minus 15 times 5 is 75s, okay? So now simplify here. We get 10 times negative 16s plus 43 equals 600 minus 75s. Distribute the 10. Negative 160s plus 430 is equal to 600 minus 75s. So moving the s's to the left by adding both sides, 75s, that will cancel here on the left, on the right-hand side, and we get negative 160 plus 75, we subtract, right? So that's going to be negative 85 s, sorry. Sorry. So what we were saying, negative 160 minus 75 or plus 75, that's going to be negative 85s plus 430. So just bringing this down, equal to 600. Subtract 430 from both sides. Okay, we get 600 minus 430. That becomes 170. So negative 85s equals 170. So we're dividing both sides by 85, negative 85, because we want to get s by itself. And your final answer will be negative 2. Okay. So there's 3 types of equations. You have a conditional equation, which is where you actually have a value and answer, right? You know, this is when it has solutions, so one or more solutions. Okay. Identity is infinitely many solutions. So that's an example would be like 15, 15. Conditional equation examples are, you know, ones that we've been doing. So this is infinitely many or all real numbers. Solutions. And then if it's false, it's called a contradiction and it has no solution. So let's say you were solving it and you got something like 0 equals 5. Well, that's wrong. So this is no solution. So when you get some contradictory thing, it's no solution. Okay, so let's see if we can classify. And in order to really find out which is which, we need to simplify as much as possible, right? So here, let's first simplify this here. We have 6, we're going to distribute this 6, so 12n minus 6 plus 3 equals 2n minus 8 plus, and then distributing the 5, you get 10n plus 5. So simplifying here like terms, 12n minus 3 equals 12n minus 3. So they're exactly the same, right? So from here, you can already state that this is an identity because you have 2 equal things. But let's say if we didn't realize that and we added 3 to both sides, you would get 12n equals 12n. Okay, so you know, you would get finally, if you divided by 12, you would get n is equal to n. So what that means is that it could be anything. So if n equals n, that's true all the time. So you have an identity. So that means all real solutions, all real numbers are the solutions, okay? All right, let's do this next one here. We have 8 plus, and then distributing the 3a minus 12 is equal to 0. Combining like terms, 3a minus 4 is equal to 0. Solving for a, we get 3a is equal to 4, divide by 3. A is equal to 4/3. So now we have a concrete solution. So this is a conditional equation. Okay, let's do this last one here. We have 5m plus, and then distributing the 3, we have 27 plus 9m equals, and then distributing this 2, 14m minus 22. So combining like terms, 14m plus 27 equals 14m minus 22. Well, if I subtract 14m from both sides to move it over, that's weird. I entirely cancel out the variable. So I get 27 is equal to negative 22, which is false. So that means no solution. Okay. So to recap, if you have a conditional, you have one or more values is the solution. Identity, all real numbers are the solution. And contradiction means that there's no solution. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is solving equations with fractions or decimals. And so what we do is first we find the LCD and we multiply everything by LCD, okay? And that will clear the fractions or decimals, okay? And in the decimals, you just need to multiply by either, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, and so on, because decimals are just fractions, right? Let's do an example here. Let's say we have 1/12 x plus 5/6 equals 3/4. The LCD for 12, 6, and 4 is 12, okay? They all divide into 12. That's the least common. So I'm going to multiply everything by 12, both sides. So that's going to be 12 times 1/12 x plus 12 times 5/6 equals 12 times 3/4. Okay? So what does that do? These will cancel out. You get x plus 6 goes into 12 twice. 2 times 5 is 10 equals 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. So finally, solving for x, we get x is equal to -1. Okay. How about here? If my LCD for this is 4, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. That will cancel out this fraction here. And on the left hand side, 4 times 1/2 is just 2. Y minus 5 is equal to y minus 1. That's because the 4 canceled out the 1/4. Okay, so distributing the 2y minus 10 is equal to y minus 1 minus y minus y. Y minus 10 is equal to -1. We add 10 to solve for y. We get y is equal to 9. Okay. All right. Let's see if you can try this one. First, take a few seconds and tell me, think about, well, what the LCD is. So did you get LCD to be 12 or 4? If you said the LCD was 4, you're correct. So the LCD is 4, you multiply everything by 4. That means every single thing. So what you're doing is you're saying 4 times the first fraction plus 4 times 6 equals 4 times 3q plus 5/4. So what's going to happen? So 2 divides into 4 twice times the numerator, which is 4q plus 3 plus 24. Is equal to, and here the 4's cancel out, you get 3q plus 5. Distributing, you get 8q plus 6 plus 24 equals 3q plus 5. Like terms, 8q plus 30 equals 3q plus 5. So then subtracting both sides by 3q, you get, so I'm going to start over here, 5q plus 30 is equal to 5. So subtracting both sides by 30, we would get 5q is equal to -25 divided by 5. So finally, q is equal to -5. Okay, now we have here a decimal one. Each decimal each number has two places here. Okay, so it has values up to the hundreds place. So the LCD for all of this is 100. So notice it's going to get rid of all the decimals. So 100 times 0.25 is going to give you 25x, right? Because you moved it 2 over. 100 times 0.05 is going to be 5 times x plus 3 equals, and then moving it over, 285. So let's go ahead and distribute. You get 25x plus 5x plus 15 is equal to 285. Like terms, 30x plus 15 is equal to 285. Subtract 15 from both sides. You get 30x is equal to 270. Divide by 30, and you get x is equal to 9. Okay? So that is it for this section. Here is your super fun homework. Good luck. Happy studying, and I will see you on the next video.